I didn't just web the can. Don't worry about it. That didn't happen. And that makes our total for today, at least on red loot, as 14 mil. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 0 to Omega, the Abyss edition with Icarus. If we take a quick little screenshot at my first 7 days, each one of these little numbers obviously is going to be representing a day. We start at roughly 1 mil. Day 1, new character getting started, and that's where we end up at. Day 2, we're going to be getting to about 80 mil. Day 3, 18. Day 4, we are about 29. Day 5, we hit officially 34. Day 6, we did have a regression, losing to Tristan, getting everything rebuilt, jumping back down to 26 mil. And then day 7, we finally hit our 40 mil. So within 7 days, roughly 7 hours of game time, that is a 40 mil increase, or a 40x of our cash over 7 hours. Maybe not necessarily the fastest or what other people are making right now, but with a brand new alpha character starting without the 1 million SP bonus that I'll have a link down in the description for, I don't think that's too bad. 40 mil, 7 days, just having a little fun with this experiment. I'm pretty proud of it. Either way, I'll catch you in game. Alrighty, welcome back to the game. We are back in our running station. We are still in our Tristan, but what I have started to do is started to train towards our worm that we've been kind of going back and forth on. And what I did was I just came to the ship tree, and this is a really cool improvement from what it used to be, but went over to the skills required, and then for these mastery levels you can literally just click like add to training. Let's find one that I haven't done so far. Yeah, buy and train, and that literally just slams everything in there. Also, it looks like a freaking beetle. Either way, we are working towards a worm. That way we can continue to work with our drones, and we are at mastery level 1. We're not going to be able to reach mastery level 2 because we need the advanced drone avionics, shield operations, and everything like that. But I have been starting to throw some of these drone navigation, drone avionics, get a little more distance, some long-range targeting, because that is something that we're running into as well. Rapid launch, and starting to go down a little bit of these missile trees here in order to switch over. It looks like we're also probably going to want to do some shield tanking and then get that accelerator control up and running. But that is the plan. We, like I said, are still in our Tristan, and we're going to really try to knock out quite a few. I'm probably going to play a lot more time on this one, just so that we can start to get some serious progress in regards to our wallet balance. And we will cut back when we are at our running spot. All right, so we are at a jumping off spot, and we do have 6 Tranquil Firestorms in our inventory, which means that we're going to have 2 runs back to back before going back to the station to drop some stuff off. We are still in our good old trusty Tristan here, absolutely crushing with our DPS of 141. Yeah, I think we go ahead and just get jumped in, running one set of our 3 filaments. Before I do that, I do need to copy everything over to my Abyss tracker. That way we can keep track of our income. So the plan, and the activities today are all going to be centered around getting up to the worm. So as I spoke in my little intro there, I do have a lot of different missiles and shield skills in the docket. That way we can get closer and closer to getting to the worm. And when we get there, we're skilled up for it. So we're going to send off some of these guys as we make our way towards the cache. We'll need to pin this guy down. This is not a very dangerous room in this Tristan. This thing just absolutely slaps. These ember needles and blast needles will typically switch over to your drones pretty quick. So we really want to focus on getting them knocked out as soon as possible here. So there's one down. Moving off to the second. Still got me red box, so still coming after me. And we're going to start approaching the cache, as that is room 1 done in less than a minute. Alright, so there's the cache done. I'm going to swing through, pick that up. Pick it up. $500,000. Not bad for a minute. Throwing a reload in between rooms here. And jump. Okay, we got a striking Damovic. We want him to target us first, so we're going to be moving. He's jumped up to 7,000 meters a second pretty quick. Get them launched. Attack, and throw the web on him. And the guns. And since he's almost got me through shield, it will start my armor repper. That way it hits preemptively. And then this guy is sitting on a decent amount of armor. We need to make sure that we are throwing that web on him. Let's go ahead and orbit the cache. He should be going down pretty quick at this point because he is in a structure hull and he is popped. There he goes. Okay. Room 2 of round 1 gets us $500,000. Reload and jump. Got our drones, got everything. Not too bad. And striking Damovic. We have a suppressor. I want to stay out of range of the suppressor. So I'm going to go down. It is a short range, so that'll be sitting at 15 kilometers. So we need to make sure that we don't go within 15 kilometers of the short range. That way we don't start losing our drones. It is unfortunately placed here. But we should be able to make it pretty quick like. We did just lose tackle, or our web on him. About to get me through shield, so I'm going to start my repper. He is back in range, so we're going to web him down again. Make sure that we can hit with our tracking. And as we are coming up, he's about to drop. He's in structure. And there he goes. We'll hit the cache with our drones. That way I'm not using any more ammo. Start our reload process. Good to go. And last one got us 800. So in totality, if we get everything all added up here, on our way to the extraction, we are looking at 1.6 million ISK on that run. Not necessarily the best, not the worst, but we are getting there. And once we get out, we're going to scoot away from the Abyss trace, and then we're going to pop another one. We do have enough for one more run before we have to drop everything off at station. I know there's been some comments about, maybe we don't run them back to back like this. I know anything could happen, but with these tier 0s, I don't feel a whole lot of threat. So I feel like I might get a little more cost effective, or not necessarily cost effective, but time efficient of go away. There it goes. Of just running them back to back here. And there's our trace. We're going to launch ourselves in and YOLO, or Leroy Jenkins, however you want to say it. Okay, so we have it devoted. We really do not want to go directly at him, so we will not go into that cloud either. We'll shoot off into this direction. He's got us red boxed, all well and good. Just slower than snot. I guess I could be going a little bit quicker towards him too. Come on. There he is. I'm going to send off our drones. This has to be within 3,500, or pardon me, 35,000 kilometers or meters. 35 kilometers. We're going to start moving towards the cache here. We're going to start our armor repper. He is attacking my drones pretty quick. I'm going to pull in that guy. Honestly, let's just bring them all in. Just so that he red boxes me again. Launch. Man, he chewed up pretty quick on him. This guy does hit like a freight train through thermal and EM, with him being a Sancha member. After literally saying I don't feel a whole lot of threat in this, we are getting kind of low in armor. As long as he keeps me red boxed and not my drones, and he keeps missing, I feel fairly confident here. Yeah. So that is going to be probably one of the tougher rooms. Not necessarily tougher rooms, but one of the higher DPS rooms that is offered in this Tier 0 Firestorm from my runs here. So yeah, there's something to be on the lookout for. We're probably going to swap out that drone, at least in the flights. Yeah, so while we're scooting over there, I'm going to drop that drone in extra and move extra out to Hobbs. Oh, man, we need to keep going. I'll pull everybody in, turn off our armor, reload. Just under a mil. You get any tranquil fires? No. Jumpy jump. What do we got? Got a skybreaker, so we need to stay outside of range. We also do have a tracking pylon, so we're good to go there. I'm going to start scooting closer to him. But what I'm also going to do while we're doing that, we're going to set a new default, and it's going to be 11 kilometers. That way I'm outside of the 10 that he will typically bounce shots at. But that is going to get me outside of web range. Okay. So as you did see, there was a bounce there. Turn on our repper. We should have a good... So I have lost to Tristan to this guy before. Mainly because I wasn't pumping out enough DPS. And as we can see with the level of DPS that I have right now, it's not too big of a deal. I had... What was it? Somewhere in the neighborhood of 90, 95. Now I'm at 141 and this guy stands no chance. And as long as we stay outside of that 10-kilometer range, it should be no problem for our drones.
To give the command to a drone requires you to have an active target.
Nope. Need to lock him up. So that'll be the last cycle of my repper here. Again, armor reppers do heal on the end of the cycle versus a shield repper, which is the beginning of the cycle. So if you are flying armor boats, you need to think ahead a little bit rather than a panic, oh shoot, I'm getting hit moment. For some reason my timer didn't start, but I am about 5 minutes into this run through the second room, and arguably it's one of my quote-unquote more difficult runs with the tank of the second room and the DPS of the first room. And as we can see, absolutely crushing it. We got a Tranquil Firestorm. Reload of some of our runs here. Got a Calm Firestorm. It's not going to do us any good. Gammas. Not really a whole lot. Jump. And our last pocket. Which is attack pacifier. Okay. Looks like we don't have anything in here to really worry about in terms of firing. These guys do hit pretty hard. They fire missiles, so if you are going to tank speed taking is a way of handling them. Just missed the pin on him with the web. So as you can see, he is hitting us pretty good. So missiles don't suffer from too many tracking penalties, but if they don't have like explosion bloom radius reduction, then you can actually speed tank a little bit as long as you're going fast enough. I want to start approaching our can here as we are kind of smoking them. Okay. Let's see, one more cycle and we're fully healed on the armor. Perfect. And last but certainly not least on our can, this was a longer run. Going to be about an 8-minute run. Get those pulled in, see what we got. Bounced just outside of range. And another 700,000. Off to the origin conduit. And while we're doing that, we're going to Control A, Control C. Paste that in the cargo. And that was a 2.2 million ISK run. All in the span of about 8 minutes. Not too terribly bad. What did we get for Tranquils? We only got one Tranquil Firestorm. So what we're going to do, once we get back to real space, we're going to reload. I'm going to head back to station, reload real quick. So now that we're back in station, we're going to organize. So we got 2.8 million of Triglavians on those first two runs. 482 of the red goop. And I'm going to get rid of all of these, which is just under a mil. And then we're going to load up 5 more Tranquils, slide them over. And I know I do see quite a few comments about just like sit by a player-owned structure for cheap, easy repairs. 400 ISK isn't going to break the bank here. Now that is like super stingy mode. All right, so we are getting ready for our second set of 2 runs here. We did have pretty good success on those first. We gained about 4 mil over 2 runs, so that's about a 2 mil average. And we're just going to go ahead and get jumped into our second set of runs. Again, planning on running back to back. Shouldn't be an issue, but as soon as I said that last time, we ran into a little bit of one of the harder rooms, or one of the harder runs out of our tier 0s here, really. But striking Damovic shouldn't cause us too many issues. As soon as he gets in range, we'll be in a good spot. So he's in range for us to target, which is 44 kilometers, and he's now in range for our drone, so we're going to send him off to him and wait for him to get into 10 kilometers and slow him down, start hitting him with our guns, and continue to move our way towards our bioadaptive cache so that we can make this another quick set of runs. And we'll start approaching our cache. He's about through our shields. Start a repper ahead of time. Honestly, we might not even need it. Just one cycle and we're good. Okay, so now we're off to the cache. Let's see what we get. A mil, that's not bad. And we got our drones, we're all set for room number 2. I'm gonna reload. On our way. Jump, jump. Another striking. The tracking pylon. Yeah, we're in a good spot on this one too. The drone's out. Send him off to the cache while we're waiting. Actually, he's in range, so we're going to send him over there now. Okay, so he's back in range. We'll start our armor. Boom. Pretty dumb just to sit here. He's not going to break me in time. I'd rather sit on the cache and be able to pop that and move on as soon as possible. So I'll just sit right here. Have the drones come when they're coming back to me. Pop this bad boy. Great. I'm going to restore them. We got another mill can. Off to the transfer. And our last room. Let's see. Tranquil. We picked up a Tranquil Firestorm in this run, so that's... you know, what is that? What are these? They're 13,000 ISK a piece, so that's saving me 13,000 for another set of runs. Jump, jump, jump. Okay, we got some strikings. Strike and a spark. These guys should drop relatively easily. So as soon as they start moving my direction, which they are now, drones are engaging there, and then we're going to come over to this guy. Pin him down, start shooting him with the guns. I know probably be a better idea to keep everybody pinned on the same, or targeted on the same dude, but DPS is DPS when you're going after the ships in my mind. Need to start my armor repper. Got a little too focused on watching the health bars go down. Okay, now that we're sitting on top of it, I don't mind losing the very little gun damage that it offers. And another mill. So overall, what is that? That's about a 3 mil run. Let's head over to the origin conduit. We're going to copy everything here, drop it into my tracker. And yep, 3.1 mil. Not too shabby for a sub 6 minute run, 5.5 minute. Jump, 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 jump. There's my Tranquil Firestorms again. We're back in known space, regular space. Next to our big-ass lava planet. Go away. Become destabilized. There it goes. We're going to activate our 4th run here. Jumpy, jump, jump. And away we go. Okay. Almost the exact same setup as that last run, except there's only 2 of our rogue drones. Get our drones out, our non-rogue drones out, and fire them off. Pew! He's about in range for us to slow him down. There we go. He should go bye-bye. I'm going to start our repper. I'm going to move over to our other drone here. Start targeting. I was starting to fit out a hook bill in the intervening couple days here, and I don't have the skills. And I simulated it and all sorts of different stuff, about 900,000 there, but I simulated it and tried to do a bunch of different things, and could only get to about 90 DPS on it. So while it might work in darks, that's not necessarily what I'm looking for. So instead of spending the 22 mil, 25 mil on that, I'm going to be saving the 60-ish mil that I need at least to pick up the tag, the worm, the hole for the worm. And then what that's also going to allow me to do is to repurpose my drone amps, drone damage amps, and a couple of the items within my Tristan here, and make it cheaper overall. Because as we're scraping it together and trying to make sure that what do we got? We got a suppressor that's short range, so we again got to stay outside of 15. It is behind me, so going towards the cache is going to be good. But regardless, saving up for the worm is my next big target. I'm planning on cutting these videos down just a little bit, and maybe just showing like the highlights and the. Usually helps if you have your drones out in space. The highlights and like the totals of the runs, and just keeping kind of an update of how everything's coming along. I totally just stopped my armor repper on accident. Let's just make sure. Yep, it did stop. Uno más. One more. There we go. All right. So I think it actually just gave me 10,000 skill points. That's 700,000. We're going to move our way over to the transfer conduit. While we're doing that, we're going to go over to our air career. Got a couple different things. I'm not going to mess with that. So it's actually underneath the opportunities. So we made our jumps. We've destroyed 25 non-capsuleer players. And it looks like we got the completion there for our 10,000 skill points. So we're going to collect all. An extra mil-ish, sans the corporate tax fees, because I'm still in the NPC Corp. Drone took a little bit of damage there at the end, so not the end of the world, though. And somebody said that I could add skill points even without pausing, so we're going to see what we can do here. Live skill points. Confirm. Sure enough.
Skill training complete.
Quality of life improvements. Thanks for that, CCP. Okay, so we're in range of the cache. This is the exact same ending room that we had on the last run. Everybody's in range. What kind of Tranquil Firestorms? I've only got one. So that's not necessarily going to give me anything to work with for maybe an extra little bonus run before running back to station here. But not the end of the world. That one should be going bye-bye real quick. Drones are good. Okay, so you like him. I'll agree and start targeting him as well. Drones are probably going to start. No, there's no yellow boxes, so drones are still in a good spot. Even though they're kind of hanging all the way back there for some reason. There's a yellow box. Which one are you going to go after? Okay. Good. 0.5 mil. Just all Tricolevian surveys. Yeah. Not necessarily the best there. And that is our 2 runs. Let's get back to the origin conduit. We are about 5 minutes into this run. So moving and grooving pretty good. It wasn't necessarily the best run there with about a 1.9 mil ISK return. For 5 minutes. What is that? That's 30 times, potentially 30 times. No. That's 15 times, if I'm doing math right. It's 60 divided by 5, so that's 10 minutes times 2, or 5 minutes times 2 for 2 runs. So that's 12 runs an hour. 5 mil. Not 5 mil, 2 mil. Math is hard. 2 mil times 12 is 24 mil an hour. It's not necessarily the best, but pretty low risk. And it's not as mind-numbingly boring as mining is. All right, so we are in station. And if we open up our goodies here, I'm going to start splitting some things out. So between red loot of 4.1 mil, 0 point condensate, and then some mutaplasmids, which are worthless. I got a Tranquil Firestorm. Get rid of the 700,000 of different filaments. Open up our item hanger here. Stack everything up. It's not too bad overall. Now, I have one Firestorm set in there already, and I'm going to grab another 5 so we can double run again. That was our first opportunity that we made for the month, which then goes into this little wheel, and as you get further and further, you get more and more things. Looks like on their 3rd milestone, so you could potentially make 8,000 ISK. If I was a mega, I could be making 5 plex at that point. But I could also make 75,000 skill points. One thing to keep in mind on alpha clones, though, is that you can only get 5 million skill points. So just a hard cap. Then keep that in mind as you are training. You can't just train everything all you could possibly ever want. Unlike a Omega, but the whole goal here is for us to get to Omega by the end of this. So we're going to go ahead and get jumped into our 3rd set of runs here. And see what we have. Let's see if we can't maybe have a glorious loot run on this run. And see what we come out with here. Got a suppressor. Got to stay outside of 15. Because he is short range. So we're just going to mosey on towards the transfer conduit. I think we will be fine. Especially with like how quickly these guys should be dropping. Oh, up the tailpipe. Get everybody targeted up. That's a big old crystal. Okay, so we've got him in range. Shouldn't last too terribly long. There he goes. Move over to this other spark needle. Rogue drone. He is yellow boxing me, so he is onto this drone. 23. I'm just too lazy to pull him in. Pop him. There you go. Alright, and then off to our cache. Biocombinative. Oof. Either way, let's see what we got. Pulling our drones. Reload our guns. Room 1 gives us 900,000. Move in the right direction. 1.5 minutes. Off to the transfer conduit. Everything's good to go there. Make sure everything's all nice and stacked and pretty. And jump. Striking Damavic. Got a tracking pylon. Good to go. Nothing to worry about in terms of blowing up my drones. Besides the Damavic. What kind of cloud is that? Gotta get him slowed down quite a bit. On 1,000,000 miles an hour. Okay. And we're going to be making our way downtown. Signature penalty, so it's making it easier to hit things. But we're going to make our way towards the cache. Okay, he's kind of hit me kind of good there. We're going to slow him down again because he's picking up a little too much speed for our drones to track. We're going to take our gun off of him. As we bounce hard from the cache, we're going to move over to the cache and start working on that with our guns. There's that cycles. We'll move it back over. And 650. Off to the transfer conduit. Smoosh everything down. I've only got 2 filaments this time. Oh my gosh. What did I click? Sorted. I like to sort by price, really. So we've only picked up, drones are in, we're good to go. 2 filaments. We've got the exotic and the tranquil. Exotic, 250,000. Lucid Aegis. We have a tracking pylon. We'll just move towards the cache. We really don't want to be flying head on into him, because I think he's got pretty substantial firepower. Firing missiles. And lasers. Oh yeah, he is a sleeper. So he'll basically hit with everything. As long as he doesn't start nuding me, we should be in a good spot. With that, he won't have shields, but he'll have a shitload of armor. Slow him down. He's outside of range. Good. So I want to pick this up. And he gives me a mill. There he goes popping. Off to the origin conduit we go. Snag everything in here. And run done at 2.5 mil. in just over 5 minutes. So then we're going to find our Tranquil Firestorms again. You're going to move away. Right to use. As soon as it goes wibble wobble whoop, there it goes. Gotta deploy and gotta make sure I stay on top of that. Save and return. Scoot, 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 and jump. Away we go. Okay, so we got spark needles, got a suppressor, got a tracking pylon, so we just gotta stay outside of the 15 kilometer range of him. Plenty. Well, start moving towards the gate, or I guess really the cache here, because I want to get the cache underway. And got the cache locked up. And we're going to go towards taking out the spark needle. Tessia. I don't know if that would be a Spanish enunciation. Tesla or a Tessia. I don't know. Okay. Outside of web range, all good. In the hoot. He's taking out my drone. We're going to move him in. And is that my 90% armor one already? Yeah, it is. Just going to bring them all in. We are on top of the cache. First room gives us 900,000. Did that give me any more Firestorms? I think that gave me another Tranquil Firestorm. So again, Panda Run. We love to see it. Blast and Ember. Again, the exact same feeling as last time. We do have a signature bloom cloud is how I'm going to refer to it in between us. I'm going to slide that down. I'm going to send off our drones to take out this blast needle. Blast needle is getting blasted. So shouldn't really be taking any damage. He is up close, so we want to pin him down. Same with our little ember here. Starting to take some armor damage. Perfect. Off to the cache. Ooh. Room 2 gives me a little drum roll. Mill right on the nose. Estimated, of course. I mean, I'm 3 minutes into this run, collected 2 mil basically. Onto the last and final room. Doing okay. So we got a Lucifer. At a short range, yeah, we'll just go ahead, head on. Control F gives you your frame rates in case you wanted to know. Slow down, start shooting, take him out as soon as possible as he's going to web me. Really shouldn't be long for this world, as if it was a DPS race, he is losing. Tortoise in the hairstyle. Cool. Send those off to the cache. We're going to reload. Got 30 surveys on 2 runs here. That's pretty good. Great. Call back our drones. Go pick up our goodies. Let's see what we get. And we won't throw a fit. About 600. I might throw a fit at that. I wanted another mill, but what can you do? Let's see what we have brought in totality. We do have 2 Tranquil Firestorms, so we could almost pop a 3rd run just from what we picked up here. But we won't be doing that. I did just completely jack all that up. And we'll jump back to normal space with 2.4 million estimated more. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to run back to station. We have been playing for about 40 minutes. And we've gotten 6 runs in, so we're doing pretty well in terms of timing. And I'm just going to go pick up some stuff and be back to our jumping off spot. All right, so we're back in station. We do have another blueprint, and we're just going to drop off because it's useless for me right now. Whoop. I'm going to pick up everything except my Tranquil Firestorm. So in filaments, we get another 600,000. In our red loot and our 0-point condensates, we have another 4.5 mil. Gonna come down to our item hanger, restack everything, and I'm sitting on about 20 mil in my hanger, 10 mil of that being easily convertible Triglavian surveys. And I think we're gonna snag, I've got 2 in there, so I need 4 to get back up to my 6 to run 2 more runs here, and that'll make us have what, 2, 4, 6, 8 total runs in this episode so far. All right, so we are on to our 4th set of runs here, which will make it to us having about 8 runs total on this day so far. But without further ado, without more of my yapping, we're gonna go ahead and get this activated and jumped back into the abyss. Okay. Got a tracking pylon, nothing to worry about, and then we're gonna take out this lancer. As soon as we get to going, he should start targeting me and moving closer. We do have a speed cloud there. Not a whole lot else. He's in range now. Both the pylon, or not the pylon, but the cache and our lancer is in range. We're going to start moving towards the cache. I could have sworn I had told my drones to attack, but, you know, it's possible. Could be wrong. He's eating about through my shield. He's about halfway through his. But now that we got everything up and running, he stands no chance. Oh, there goes my shield. I'll take off the gun real quick as we are getting close to the cache. I'm gonna start shooting the cache. I know you hate it. It's how my brain plays. He's yellow boxed me, so we'll be moving to my drones here shortly. But we're gonna not attack. We're going to approach our wreck here. See what we got out of room 1. About a mil. We'll love to see it. 0 points. Calm darks are not worth jack. Really not. But really, that was a lot of surveys. Is really kind of what did it for us there. About a minute and a half first room. Jumpy jump, 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 jump. Okay. Spark needler. Or ember needles. Ember needle. Ugh. They really need to change the name. CCP, I'm petitioning Needler, personally, because my brain can't stop it. Okay, sending them off. As you're getting close, throw the web on you. So we hit a speed cloud. As you can tell, we're going about 3,000 kilometers an hour and 3,000 meters a second. Oh my. Words be hard. And it's real hard to hit a bunch of different things here. We need to throw the web and slow some of these guys down. Move the drones over. Good. We're going to just use one drone. How much does that give me? Could be worse. I know y'all hate it as well. These dudes are going a million miles an hour. Okay. Then we just have the one left. We're going to hit him with the web and the guns. While we're at it, we're going to loot. 400,000 is junk. He's about chewed through my drone. I'm going to move him back. Okay, so we're going to move towards the transfer conduit. Then we're going to do our little truffle shuffle here with our hobs. And jump over to the next and final room on this run. 4 minutes in. Less than optimal. I know. But it's what we got. No suppressor, so we're good to just go straight towards it. As you do get up to further levels, you're going to want to do a lot more transversal and messing with tracking of your opponents. As you get to the Gila and the worm, it's really going to be centered around speed tanking more than anything. Okay, we're going to swing back by the bioadaptive cache. Combinative. Whoosh. And we're going to send the drones. We're going to reload the guns. Why reload when you're done with the run? I don't know. 800,000. Just out of range. Damn it. Okay, we don't need the armor repper. I need you to go back towards the cache. Pretty sure I did that. There's our 800 back and bounce and back off to the other way we go. So, on our 7th run. That's 2 mil. Back to origins, so back to known space. Come on, jumpy jump jump. That was a 6 minute 7 second run according to Abyss Tracker. And then if we find our Tranquil Firestorms, oh, we picked up 2. So we love to see that. Means we almost get a run for free. We are too close yet. And that trace needs to go away. Pew. Okay. Drop another one and jump in. Okay. Let's see what we get. Spark needles. No suppressors. We're good to go. Turn on the afterburner. That way we get there a lot quicker. Let's see if we can beat 6 minutes here. Should easily be able to. As these typically just drop like a lead balloon. Especially when you get a web on them. Bring the full force of your entire guns. Perfect. Alarm. Shield alarms. Let's start our armor repper just to be on the safe side. He should go down before he even touches our armor. Yep. And we're going to send drones to the cache. Reload our guns. Perfect. Bring in the drones. Pick up the cache. And just under a mil. I think I picked up another Firestorm as well. I did not. Trigolevian survey database is tricked my brain. Come on. Jumpy jump, jump, jump. Okay. This for Schwarzbein. Is that a crystal or a cartel? Okay. Question of the day. What is your favorite sci-fi series? I'm a huge Stargate nerd, and love the fact that there's been news out that Amazon is actively making a new series for them. Very formative years for me, just watching, the beginning, like the first movie in the 90s, and then just like growing up with Stargate 1. Atlantis was really cool with Jason Momoa. And Universe, honestly, it gets a lot of hate. Could be worse. They did try to do things a little bit differently. 380,000. Tried to do things differently. It kind of panned for the first season, but in like season 2, it really kind of picks up, especially when... it's going to spoil everything, but especially when they start like running into the emergency where you can't stop otherwise, like the road drones start coming after them and everything like that. It's really cool. And then like trying to figure out the great expanse void and everything. I really hope that they finish telling that storyline. So Brad Wright, please wrap that up in the new series. Star Trek, my parent, like that's more like my parents' generation. My dad and my uncle really like those. The remakes have been pretty good with Chris Pine, but it's still got to go to Stargate for me. Let me know in the comments what you think. Damovic should go pretty quick. Tracking pylon, we're into armor on him already. He's got me in armor. He's outside of web range. Back inside, slow him down. I didn't just web the can. Don't worry about it. That didn't happen. Let's orbit the can. Actually, let's just reapproach the can. Let's see. So I got to beat 6 minutes for that last run. This one, we're at 4 minutes. 4.5 minutes. Okay. Cool. What do we get here? 3/4 mil. Didn't even look what was in there. Trying to beat my time. Let's restack. I didn't get enough for another run, unfortunately. But we are going to beat the timing of our last one. This one's looking to be about 5 minutes. 4 minutes 50, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5:01 is what it's telling me. I'm going to call 5 minutes because I was already in space. But what that gives me is a 2 million estimated loot for that run. I'm going to run back to station, see where we're at in terms of the hour-long playtime, and then we'll figure out what we can do from there. But I'll see you in station.
Acting.
Okay, so we're back in station. Let's see what we got in the hold here. We got another blueprint. I'm going to start having to get some station containers sent over here, huh? And then I got dark, calm, exotic. Firestorms are going to stay. Tranquil, gammas. That's 158,000 estimated ISK. We got 3.6 million in red loot and another 500,000 in 0 points. So 4.12. And that makes our total for today, at least on red loot, as 14 mil. And if I'm looking over at my EVE Abyss tracker, it says today was 17.92 million across 8 runs. So not too bad overall. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to put a pin in it here. If you have enjoyed the episode, please leave a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And definitely hit me up in the comments down below. I enjoyed talking with y'all and about strategy, about what you do, what you're interested in, and everything like that. But regardless, I hope you have enjoyed once again. And I hope to see you in the next episode.